me, VTT, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're doing something really special. I decided to recreate one of Indian mythology's greatest epics, the Mahabharata. So, as you can see, I've created some of the figures here and a chariot in the back. So, I'm gonna just start off by giving a brief summary of the Mahabharata. It's the battle between Dharma, good, and Adharma, evil. It's like Dharma is the 5 Pandavas and the Adharma side is the 100 Kauravas. Like the Kauravas and Pandavas are cousins, but they went in a fight over the throne. So I'll just start off with every character separately. First we have Yudhishthira. He's the eldest of the Pandavas. He's son of the god of death, and he never lies. That's his specialty. He never lies. He's the oldest, and he's the one who's actually supposed to take the throne. His weapon of choice is a spear. Like the main point in the Mahabharata during the war, if the opponent team captured Yudhishthira, the war was over. Just put him back here. Next, we have Bhima. He is the second eldest Pandava, son of the god of wind. He's like the strongest of all the Pandavas, and he's chosen a giant mace as his weapon of choice. He's really strong, and he can beat up anybody. Most of the enemies were planned. The Pandavas usually planned on how to kill them, but Bhima was the one who usually did all the killing because he was the strongest. Next, we have Arjuna. He is by far my favorite character in Mahabharata. He's the third eldest brother, son of Indra, god of thunder, and his weapon of choice is a bow and arrow. His bow was handcrafted and given to him by the god of fire. He's the smartest of all the Pandavas, and he's pretty much considered the main one. Nobody can take him out. He's like a really impossible opponent to defeat. And yeah. Next we have Nakula. He's the 4th eldest, except him and the last Pandava are twins, except Nakula is older, and he's like the comedian of the group. He always knows how to lift the spirits of his brothers, which is why he always has a smile on his face. And his weapon of choice is a sword. Last but not least is the Pandava Sagadeva. He's the twin brother of Nakula and really good with animals. He loves joking around with his brother, and he has his weapon of choice as an axe. Now, next we have Duryodhana. He's the eldest of the Kauravas, and the Pandavas are considered his mortal enemy. He hates all of them, especially Bhima. And he wants to take the throne because his father, Dhritarashtra, was the current king during the war. But Yudhishthira was supposed to get the throne. So then they had a war over, so the Kurukshetra war was all about the war for the throne. He's ruthless and really cruel, and his weapon of choice is a mace that's blunt on 2 sides and sharp on 2 sides. Next, we have evil uncle, Shakuni. The reason Duryodhana turned evil and turned against the Pandavas was all this guy. His sister, Gandhari, is the wife of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana's dad. Dhritarashtra was blind, and Gandhari was afraid of darkness. And so when she married Dhritarashtra, she blindfolded herself because she didn't want to be able to see what her husband can't. And that made Shakuni really mad because Dhritarashtra plunged his sister's life into her greatest fear, darkness. So in the show, he stabbed his leg, where he swore vengeance against Dhritarashtra. So for this, he corrupted Duryodhana and his 100 brothers. He's master of words and trickery, so he usually doesn't need a weapon. Last, but definitely not the least, we have Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is Arjuna's brother-in-law, because Arjuna married Krishna's sister. Lord Krishna is is the smartest god, and also Arjuna's charioteer in the Mahabharata. So he's the reason the Pandavas won. Like, he gave them all the ideas and helped them a lot. He has a peacock feather sticking out of his crown, and he always wears a crown. And this is his lethal discus. His discus, he only pulls out his discus if it's actually necessary. 95% of the time, he doesn't need to use it. But sometimes when it's actually necessary, he uses his discus. Now we have Arjuna's chariot. So this part of the chariot was during the scene in the Mahabharata, also known as the Bhagavad Gita. This is where Arjuna hesitates to fight the Kauravas because even though they've done many horrible things to him and his brothers, they are family, so he's reluctant to fight them. He's reluctant to fight them. So Krishna gives Arjuna a long speech about life and why he needs to do this. And after this speech, Arjuna's prepared for the war. So I'll give you guys a look at the chariot. I'll just put Krishna on here. He just sits here. With that, I've got a horse over here. I'm sorry guys, the chariot just, yeah. So there's a horse over here pulling the chariot, and Krishna's got his discus in one hand and he's holding the reins with his other. So yeah. So inside the chariot, there's a stockpile of weapons in there. I'll just carefully remove the top and show that to you guys. If you guys are building a chariot like this, sometimes when you remove the top, it might take off one of the pillars. So you just need to know which way to put it back on, like that, so it fits all the game. Inside there's a stockpile of weapons. Arjuna has all the weapons of his brothers extra. A mace, an axe, a spear, and a sword. And there's of course a place for his bow right here. Keep it there. So he could just stand in the chariot and while Krishna rides it into battle. And then on the back of the chariot, there's stairs, which is how Arjuna gets off the chariot. And of course, it has giant wheels that help it move, because that's just how the chariots are. And in case you guys are wondering why some of these figures have long hair, it's just that back in the olden days, at the time of the Mahabharata, even men used to grow their hair very long. So that was all for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. And please like, subscribe, share, and please get more viewers for the channel. I would really appreciate it. And see you guys next time. Bye.